On February 25th, and the meeting tonight is to discuss the consolidation possibility or study that we've been asked to consider by the Vision Committee. And you want to come talk to us a few minutes about the committee's recommendation?
I do it right here.
Sure. Okay.
What we are proposing is a joint resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Lanier County and the City of Lakeland that we're requesting the introduction of a local legislation to establish the Lakeland and Lanier County Charter and Unification Committee, and to explore the possibilities of consolidation. We're not in any way saying we're fixing to consolidate, but what we want to do is when you do your research for the state of Georgia, the Carl Benson Institute, and these places, they tell you the proper steps that you got to take to do this. And this is one of them. It's got to be a joint venture. The most important thing about this whole thing is everybody's got to be unified. Everybody's got to be on the same page, and everybody's got to want it, the city and the county. And of course the sheriff, he plays a real big part in this also. But this right here is the resolution. I don't know if everybody's got a copy of it. I assume everybody does. And if you read through it, it's pretty simple. Pretty self-explanatory. And also, if you got a copy of the act, and this act right here is what we'll be given to this resolution when, if Alex and the commissioners decide to take it, and the city council goes back and does what they're supposed to do. We're going to send this act with this resolution with Jason, our Representative Jason Shaw, to the general session, and see if he can't get it passed and get it moving in the right direction. But once again, saying all that just to say that we just need the approval of the chairman of the county commission and county commissioners to move forward. Is where we're at. And that's why I'm here tonight.
Okay, well, thank you. I know Dennis and Scott and I myself were at the council meeting. The mayor and councilman brought up some questions about being some errors in the document, and you explained to them, I'm sure, that those would be corrected. A final draft would be completed and omit those errors that are made or whatnot.
This was Chairman. This was a template that we actually got from the Carl Benson Institute, or Sandy got, and it's sort of like a free document where you bring it, and everybody's lawyers and everybody goes over it, and any terminology in there that they don't see that needs to go in there, it will be removed. Then when everybody comes back together, the one document will be put there and approved, and everybody will read it, and then both sides will sign it again before Jason ever goes anywhere.
But and I did speak to Jason over the weekend, Representative Shaw, and he said he could also let his legislative council help with that document as well to get it like we need it. So that's another option. But I know Scott, you and Dennis were both on the Vision Committee.
I don't think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think the document is that big of a deal as just having it signed to where we can explore it. The part of going to explore is to fix part of the document.
Right. The resolutions, Scott, is pretty cut and dried. I mean, it's not a whole lot to that. The act itself is the template that was in question that everybody seemed to have a big disagreement about. There was some terminology in there. If you read it, it's about the $10,000.
But the act isn't important, though, is it?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, it will be once the council is, what I'm saying, is drawn up and the charter and the commission goes out. It will be important. All of this needs to be just exactly like we wanted as the citizens in the county of Lanier County before we send it anywhere, from what I understand.
So we need to have the act drawn up.
Yeah, it don't need to leave.
Okay.
Jason won't, it won't never be carried anywhere and put proposed of anything until it's correct.
Okay.
And you may even want to go ahead and, of course, city council may, well, their stamp of approval is going to have to be added to as well if we do it tonight as well.
Right. All we're doing tonight is asking you, Mr. Chairman, to move forward and send the county commissioner to move forward. So if the city council does call for a special session and reconvenes and overrides the veto, which that's I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I can't stand there and tell you that, but I know that they're going to try. and see if they can override the veto. If they don't override the veto, it's just all for naught for right now, until, either somebody else gets elected or somebody else's mind gets changed. Which direction it's going in. But, if we get the county commissioners on there, and then, we can see what happens in that special call.
Yeah, and one thing, since you said that, and you asked for us to vote, I mean, we're not here voting on the county taking over the city, or the city taking over the county. This would, I wasn't there, y'all could explain it better than me.
It's more or less just to go, say that we're okay to go forward with the study.
Right, but I heard at the council meeting possibly that, they were some confusion maybe about who was gonna run what. None of us might even be here. There'd be a new government, a new government that was unified or whatever, consolidated government that would even take on a new name, Lakeland and Lanier County, or and it'd be set up with different serving members that we don't know who they'd be or how it'd be structured. That's what this study's needed for to move us forward toward getting there.
Well, the main
if that's the if that's what
the main concern was representation, from what I understand, that all the districts would have to probably be relined, and if they did that, we talked about this in our last vision committee meeting. They could be 2 representatives from each district. As far as that goes.
Well, you could do that, or you could have 3 at large.
You could do there's all kind of ways you could do it. But we're a long ways from that. All we were trying to do here
And just get started with the
is say
rough draft or whatever you want to call it.
all we want to do is form a committee, and to draft a charter to explore the possibilities. It may not be right for our city and our county. It may not be right to do. There's all kind of consolidation too. You don't have to do it all the way. You can do some of it and, just leave some of it like it is. There's all kinds of things, but what we need to do, I'm gonna go ahead and say this, what we need to do in our city and our county is to figure out what's gonna carry us 5, 10, 15 years into the future. What we've been doing, has got us this far, but to be perfectly honest, I don't see it carrying us into the future, with the setup that we have. I think, if everybody would sit down and, kind of figure out exactly what the big picture is, they would see that it's not about a few, it's about the whole. And, like I said, we run into a little roadblock last week at the city council. But, we're gonna see how that goes in that special call meeting. And, hopefully the county commissioners and you, Mr. Chairman, are go on board with this, or if you want to read it over and, and whatever y'all want to do, but we really appreciate it.
You're asking for us to pass a resolution that moves forward with a study
That's all we're asking.
Combining the 2 governments.
That's all we're doing.
And the process would take at least probably, well, it's on how long study, but even if it moves forward, we're talking about 3 years down the road.
At least.
Probably at least before that could happen.
At least.
The unification part of the
It's
government.
gonna take a while. It may take 4 years. It may take.
But right now, we just want to do a study, or the vision committee is asking for us to, I guess, give our blessings on that study.
Now, what everybody needs to understand too, after this happens, if it happens, the vision committee will move out, we will move back away from it. And that special committee, or that commission, which you, Alex, the chairman of the county commissioners, and the mayor, whoever the mayor will be at that time, will have to be on that as 2 elected officials. Now, we can appoint anybody else we want to from anywhere. Any citizen can be on there other than that. But those 2 have to be on that. And, I was reading an article last week that, the sheriff has to have some part in this, after we move to this other end, but that's on down the road also. But, the school system is not involved in this at all. This has nothing to do with the school system. But, there's some elected officials at the courthouse that has nothing to do with it. But, there's some other things that, that people are getting misadvised about, or I think it's a good thing, about education of what consolidation is, because if you've been around here for long enough, this is not the first time this has come up, and, it's been we've all have our opinions as to why it didn't pass, but a lot of it is because of educating people as to why it's being done and what the purpose is what needs to happen more than anything. Is it right for us? I feel like it is, but, you know, it needs to be, this commission brought up to where it can be carried up and put on the ballot and let the people decide is what they want to do. That's all I have.
And again, we can vote on this tonight if y'all would like, and, you know, it doesn't really mean a whole lot unless the city reconsiders.
That's right.
And, you know, and the mayor, I would like, and he asked me to bring this up, the mayor did talk to me over the weekend, and he asked that, you know, whether this study goes forward or not, he still would like us to consider some consolidation in law enforcement, maybe animal control or some area. So maybe, you know, that may be a building block to something else. But yet tonight, we're here to talk about passing that resolution.
All we want to do is form a committee to explore the possibilities. That's all we want to do.
So
That's all we're doing.
Well, that's enough said.
I make a motion.
Scott, I make a motion. Dean,
I'll second.
Harold, second. Any further discussion on approving the study? And it's actually a resolution.
It's just a resolution, it's all that.
We don't have a copy, but we need to get a copy.
I had a copy, but I don't have a
We-
copy. You have it?
Copies.
I got one.
We just might get with them anyway and go over it and take out and then she's.
Yeah, I mean,
You want a copy of the act and the resolution?
yeah, well, I think what it is, we would vote on the resolution tonight, and then, and understand that the corrections, the needed corrections will be made to the act.
Yeah, the corrections are to the act, that's what I'm saying.
So,
There's a couple of things highlighted in that thing right there, you know, and, you know, the one thing that we want to highlight, you know, to let everybody know, is this is just to explore the possibilities of consolidation.
so we have a motion and a second, and we had a little more discussion. Any more discussion with us? All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Thank you. I'll leave that with you.
Okay.
Thank you, Dick.
Well,
Appreciate it. And that's really all we have on the agenda for tonight. We have a couple of personnel matters to deal with the city, but is anybody, I guess, before we try to go into executive, anybody got any questions or comments or anybody? So, good. Anybody, that's all we really talked about tonight. Motion to, I guess, go into executive.
I'll make a motion to go in executive.
Second. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.